Hello, in this video, we're going to run through some best practice for staff expenses and also some practical guidance that's going to come out of war stories of what I've seen and experienced in the past. So firstly, what happens when you actually don't have control systems or they're poor? Well, the key things that come to my mind are you might get improper expense claims. So people may claim for things that they think are okay, and because you don't have a policy to go against, you will end up paying them. This can actually go on and spiral and become quite a negative culture within the company. There may be tax complications for the company and staff, specifically, for example, in Australia with fringe benefits tax. If staff are buying alcohol for clients, that can provide an issue. If staff are kind of buying entertainment or gifts for people's birthdays within the company, that again can give tax complications. And sometimes the actual cost of that tax compliance is far more than the expense that was there. Very bad and delayed information and poor management reporting. So what I mean by this is if someone doesn't claim regularly, suddenly there's a huge expense claim coming in. That will mess off cash flows and budgets, and actually be a shock on, this is what the cost of acquisition was. We've had the salesperson, this is what they are spending. Um, all that can give quite bad staff morale issues, specifically the person making the claim when maybe they're told you can't do this anymore or we're not paying these. But also I find that morale goes through the company, and people look at, to pick on the sales team, what the sales team are doing, and they start to mirror or be envious of. Uh, Not having a timetable in place and procedures in place for how a claim can be made gives quite significant accounting inefficiencies. For example, I had one client where they were regularly paying expense bills of less than 10 or 15 US dollars a time, but people were making claims multiple times a week. That's a huge tie up in resources. The financial surprises we've covered, and staff management issues. Expenses and money is always an emotional topic, and where maybe you're sat with someone going, these are not proper, and they're saying, well, I don't have a policy in place, it makes that management quite difficult. So what's needed? I think a very clear expense policy. And this is worth a lot of time to invest in. We should be going through how much, so giving guidance on how much is an appropriate for, say, a client entertaining meal, how often, who you can be spending money on and who can be spending it, approval level. So in a number of clients, we say the sales team can do anything under X dollars themselves, but above that, it needs to be approved. What type is appropriate? Picking on Australia again, is alcohol appropriate and in what circumstances? What type of client do we take out and where do we take them? A big client we might take to a fancy restaurant, a small potential lead we take to a Starbucks for a coffee, and how it needs to be recorded, reported, and then very importantly, a timetable for delivery, and in return, a timetable for repayment of it. I think it's best if there's a simple way for input and collating the expenses so that this can be analyzed very easily. There are digital assistants possible. So I've got clients who use Receipt Bank and use Xero, and a few who use Expensify. I tend to prefer Xero because the integration within Xero is very good. It's got a good AI platform as well. But both Receipt Bank and Xero can have issues with foreign currencies in Asia. So they'll see a dollar symbol and maybe not realize it's Singapore dollars or Hong Kong dollars. That you can build into your process. These are tools that can enforce some policies. So Receipt Bank, you can enforce policies, but you can easily have an approval train within these digital tools. That's it. It's quite a big topic, so please feel free to reach out if you've got any questions. Thank you very much.